Good girl. Did you get your stick? Good girl. Nice. Hi, good girl. Good girl. So, I wasn't sure when I was going to be ready to do this or talk about it, but I figured Leah and I are here at Tozi's favorite park, the one that we used to come to every day. Now everyone knew her and played frisbee and everything. So, and Leah is finally here and learning, and hopefully we'll learn to love it here too. And she's being a very good girl, staying by me and watching people as they go by. And at first I wanted to do a Tozi video on what happened with like my pictures of her from puppy until the incident, and honestly I haven't been able to even look at a picture yet. It's been over a month. Sorry. And I can't do it. So I thought kind of talking about what happened in the park that we visited, and she saw all of her friends and played with them the day that it happened with Leah was kind of a good time. I'm sorry, I'm shaking. I don't have a good spot to set up the camera. This was just kind of a spur of the moment thing, like, oh hey, I think I'm ready to share a little bit. So Tozi flew out here with me and went to the doctor and everything, and we were on our way to fly back. Little Leah watching, and we dropped off the rental car and got to the airport and got to security, and went through the checkpoint, and she was sitting there next to me while they swiped my hands, because when you have a service animal, they swipe your hands for bomb residue or something, so I had to hold out both my hands. And if you knew Tozi or our relationship in the whole 6 years, she had never, ever once left my side. When she was afraid or anything, she would hide behind me, get between my legs or something like that. She would never run. She would never take off. She would never leave me. She would never leave me. There was not one incident in her entire life where she left my side. And I don't know what happened, because I was standing there getting my hands swiped, and she was sitting there next to me, and then the next thing I knew, she ran. She took off running, and I hear them yelling at me, go get your dog, and I'm like, I'm trying, I can't run. So then a couple of the TSA agents helped, went after her, and I'm trying, and I'm like, don't chase her, and then I'm trying my hardest to get through all the little, the ropes and everything to get to her and call her, and I'm not sure why she was running. And she had been acting weird for like a week before this. Really affectionate, really nervous. It was a new moon too, which she hadn't had a seizure in 4 years, and she used to have them on new moons. And I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think of every possibility that I can for what happened, and I still don't really even know really what happened, and that's really a hard thing. So I'm trying to get through the ropes to get to her, and then because I knew, if she would come to me, and she was probably scared of everyone else. And then someone gets in my way, one of the workers, and he's like, no, stay here, you're just gonna make it worse. And I hear from behind me, like, your stuff is blocking the thing, the conveyor. You need to get your stuff out of the way, let them handle it. And I just was like, fucking throw my stuff away, I don't care about it, or move it off of the thing. It already went through security, like, why do I have to do this? So they were blocking me from going to get her, and telling me now, after telling me to get her, telling me I had to stay and get my things, and I had to make a choice, and we'd have to come back through. And I was just like, no, I want to go get my dog, I'm just not fast, I can't run, and every second that you're not letting me go get her, she's terrified. I don't know what's going on. And they're like, oh, well, we have cameras everywhere, and we have 2 good people on it, and it'll be fine. So I had to go get my stuff, and that takes me for fucking ever to do by myself, because I shake and can't walk very well. And so I'm trying to put my shoes on, and then someone comes and grabs me and says, you need to just stay back here, sit down. And I'm like, no, I'm just got my stuff, I'm gonna go get my dog now. And then so someone comes and gets me and is walking with me, and he's asking everyone, and he's seeing me try to walk with my cane and keep up, and he's like, just sit down, just sit down, just sit down, we don't need you getting hurt or anything like that. And I'm like, I'm not no, I'm not gonna sit down, she's my everything. And then we went outside asking people, and some people had said they'd seen her, and it's not a very big airport, and it wasn't very busy. I don't know why someone couldn't just fucking grab her. She's a nice dog. And we go outside, and all of a sudden I just felt this this feeling of something beautiful was gone. And I remember turning around and looking at the guy, and I just sat down on the bench there, and he's on the radio and everything, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't really know what's going on, I'm waiting for my people, blah blah blah. And I just sat there I was just felt it. And then they're like, well, the sheriffs are on it. And I'm like, why is there a sheriff? What is going on? You know, like, somebody tell me what's going on. Someone lead me in a direction. And, you know, I wasn't getting anything from anybody. And, all of a sudden a sheriff appears, and he is like, I'm sorry, you know, they thought they had her, but she ran into the road. And I'm like, what do you mean she ran into the road? Like, how the hell did that even happen? Like, I don't understand, you know. She wasn't a runner. She wasn't anything. Like, how did she get out? And then if there were a bunch of agents on it, how did she even escape them and go into the road? And they pointed way, way, way down. I'm like, there's no way. She ran all the way down, like, out of the airport, basically, and into the freeway. He's like, well, you know, that's what my sheriff said. And Leah, stay here. And then another sheriff came, and he's like, you know, verified it. And I showed him pictures. I'm like, are you sure it's this dog? You're sure it's this dog? Let me go down there and see. Please take me down there. And they're like, no, it's best if you don't go down there, blah, blah, blah. We're sure it's her, da, 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 da. And after a while, like, I'm screaming, crying, like, freaking going crazy, and just want to go see her, like. And then I'm like, well, I can't leave her here, you know. I can't just get on my flight and leave my dog here. Like, what do I do? And they're like, well, we think you should just get on your flight. And one of the sheriffs, he sat with me for a while, and he's like, you know, this is the hardest thing I've had to do ever. I'm a sheriff in Oakland, and this was the hardest thing he had to do. And he's like, I'm going to personally make sure that she is here waiting for you, because I had nowhere to go. You know, I had nowhere to take her. I didn't have a car now. Like, I had to get on the flight. And he's like, I'm going to make sure that she's frozen and she's here when you get back. And he gave me a piece of paper, numbers to call and everything. And I, you know, kept wanting to see her and make sure, and just make sure that it was her. And I never got to see her. Anything. I had the sheriff and another agent escort me, sit with me. And an agent sat with me until my flight, and she was, like, devastated and in tears and couldn't believe what happened. And her name was Tongan, and she was very, very sweet, you know. And she was the one swiping my hands, and she's like, I have no idea what happened. Like, all of a sudden, like, it was so crazy. Like, she was even saying how crazy it was. Like, no idea what happened. No idea. She was just gone. Like, something freaked her out. Leah, stay here. Wait. And anyway, so she sat with me for like an hour, and we talked, and she was so nice and just sweet, and she was in tears and devastated and everything. And you know, they just wanted me to be safe and make sure that I got on my flight, I guess, or something. And she was Tongan, or hold on. Leah, Ben, come on. Leah, come on. Leah, come here, good girl. Where is she? Good girl, come on. Good girl. Stay here. Wait. Leah. Leah, come on. I think I have to go get Leah. She came back. Get this. But anyway, So her name, the lady that sat with me and talked to me about it and, you know, was also devastated and confused and everything, was Tongan, and she was born on like her great grandfather's 75th birthday or something, and so her name meant 75 mountains, and everyone called her Fitu, which is just like 7, I guess, because her name was really long. And you know, my first thought was like, shit, I need a service dog. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do anything without her, and I'll name her Fitu. Well, then I got really like depressed, and it reminded me of all of that, and I started looking up things and thinking, and I was like, well, you know, she's like spirited and like soulful and soulmate, and so Laumele Fitu is her full name. She's like spirited 7, or like soulful 7, soul 7, spirit 7, whatever. I don't know Tongan, and I'm probably saying it wrong. But I call her Lie, and she's like my 7th little soulmate. And some people have been on the case trying to find Tozi for me, because I haven't been able to do it emotionally, and there's no record of her anywhere. The sheriffs aren't calling back after leaving messages. I don't know what happened. It's still tearing me apart. I need to find her. I need to just know that maybe she's not just out there waiting for me, or I don't know. It's driving me crazy. It is a little blessing. I have this little girl. Tozi came to me in a dream and told me that, you know, Lie was gonna take care of me, and she had to leave for a reason. Lie would be, you know, better suited for the job, because Tozi had so much anxiety and issues, health issues, and maybe she knew. I don't know. But she was like literally my everything, and she got me through my illness, and it's really hard without a service dog, you know, trained and everything. And while Nia is like my little joy and everything, she's, you know, not trained yet, so I need that help. And I don't know, it's just, I think it's just the fact that I don't know where she is. No one's getting back to me about it. That is just really hard. And I hope to do a nice little video of some pictures of her and stuff once I can look at them and do that, because she deserves that, and she deserves to be found. She deserves to be with me in whatever form she's in. I miss her.